Today we're going to show you how we install a package of bees. The package itself contains approximately 10,000 bees with a queen in a separate cage inside. We're going to use a hive tool to open up the top and try to get a hold of the queen cage inside. Obviously, some bees are going to be released in this process. So now we have the queen cage out. We're going to cover up the hole so that the other bees don't escape, and then I need to brush off the bees from the queen cage so we don't squish any of them in the process. The queen cage comes with a cork at the end of it, and they don't want the queen to be released with the bees because she's not their mom and they have to get used to her. So we're going to need to remove that cork carefully, trying not to let the queen escape, and replace it with a piece of marshmallow. When we do that, the bees will actually eat through to the marshmallow, and by the time they are through eating the marshmallow, they would have gotten used to the queen. So now we have the marshmallow put in place. You can also see on the front side of the queen cage that there is a fine mesh screen there. This allows the bees to interact with the queen, feed her, and also get used to her by picking up her pheromones. We make a wire hanger to wrap around the queen's cage so that we can hang it in the hive. We hang the queen's cage from one frame and we're going to sandwich it between two frames. We hang it so that the bees can still get to the marshmallow and get through it, and also we turn it so that the screen in the front, the bees can still get to that and get used to the queen. The next process we're going to do is a very delicate process. We want to gently coax the bees out of the box. Just kidding. We're going to shake them out. Once we get most of the bees out of the box, we're going to put the frames back in, making sure that the queen cage is secure, and we'll leave the box at the front of the hive so that any stragglers who didn't come out have the opportunity to leave and enter the hive. Because there aren't that many flowers blooming right now, the bees still need some food and they don't have any honey already stored. So I put together some sugar water that is 2 parts sugar and 1 part water, and they'll use this until they're able to go out and get food from the flowers. We put the inner cover on top. There's a hole on the top so that they can come and go from there, and also holes on either side, front and back. Then we put the telescoping cover on top. This provides shelter for the bees, but also a way that they can get straight to the top of the hive without having to go through the bottom hive. It's been a week now and the hives are buzzing with activity. Here they are. We've slowed it down so you can see the bees coming and going. And I have to check the hive to make sure that the bees have released the queen. I take out a frame so that I have room to move the frames apart. I need to get the queen's cage out, make sure that the marshmallow has been taken out and that the queen is no longer in there. I can see that the marshmallow's been taken out and the only bees that are in there are just little stragglers. So I want to get rid of them before I put it in my little tool bucket. I want to take a frame out and take a look at it. As you can see, the bees are busy working it. In the cells, you can notice dark orange, that's the pollen that they've been collecting. There's also a clear liquid, that's honey that they've made. In this close-up, you can see what looks like tiny grains of rice. Those are baby bee eggs. And in the bottom right-hand corner, in the white milky looking liquid, it looks like half a white donut. That's an actual bee larva. You can see some bees have been out collecting pollen. You can notice that there's a dark orange on the back of their legs. That's their pollen sacs. So the hive looks great. The queen's laying eggs. We're going to put it back together and leave them alone.